first heard about near-death experiences, it was a breath of fresh air. It was a comfort to a beleaguered soul. Know that yes, there was life after death. After all, you don't know how good it felt. But then they say ignorance is bliss. I was ignorant back then, but now I've learned, as Paul Harvey says, the rest of the story. Let me tell you something. It is quite shitty. Maurice Rawlings, the doctor, who was an atheist at first until many of his patients started reporting things they saw as they were dying, and it changed his theology. Well, even he missed the mark. Missed the mark in his book. What's the name of that book? Beyond Death's Door. His first book. He was talking about how the Tibetan Book of the Dead describes the light, and then describes the penalized the existence. Well, I was so refreshing to know that this light at the end of the tunnel was something that everybody saw, universal, even way back then before Christ. Well, then I read the Tibetan Book of the Death for myself and realized Maurice Rawlings got it wrong. Yes, it says there's a light at the end of the tunnel, but it's an illusion. After that, you move on to a hellish or a heavenly realm. It's an illusion. Then after that is a hellish realm. It's an illusion. You see, the trick is, according to the Tibetan Book of the Dead, is you want to realize it is an illusion, because if you stop off thinking it's the real deal, you're going to be reincarnated or something like that. The trick is to realize it's all an illusion and thereby go to nirvana. See, strike one. Okay, in his first book, he was talking about George T. Ritchie in A Favorable Light and his near-death experience, Return from Tomorrow. In another book of his, he describes George T. Ritchie as flitting from one realm to another, from heaven to hell and back. Quote, one thing which Jesus said was not possible in his parable of the rich man and Lazarus. Well, see, Maurice Rawlings, you got it wrong. And he wasn't flitting from heaven to hell, at least not on his own. Jesus was taking him on a guided tour. So get your facts right before you start spitting out your ignorance, motherfucker. I'm just so disappointed in this. Christians, born again Christians, fundamentalist Christians, having near-death experiences that correspond to the same near-death experiences that non-Christians have. The light, this, that, the love. There's just one problem. There are people coming out now that explain how it's all an illusion. If you get absorbed into the light, that's the last thing you want to do, because then you're going to be reincarnated. You're going to forget everything. This life is like a dream, which as you go up into your afterlife, this life begins to fade from your memory just like a dream. I'm sorry. I curse whatever's out there. Let me burn in hell as me with all my memories. I'm sorry. I'd rather burn in hell as me and stay me, the person I am now, with my likes, my desires, my wishes, and move on and become somebody else, reincarnated. I curse whatever's out there for that. Let me tell you something. Some people, this one guy says the light at the end of the tunnel is really an extension of you. You know what? It's so lonely, the thought of no God, no Jesus. I'm sorry. I'm longing for there to be a God and a Jesus, a definite, concrete somebody. Definite. Instead of all this fucking quicksand. But you know what? Until I get some freaking answers, I just gotta be like they were in the 80s. The me generation. I'm gonna be as selfish as I can be. If you love me, join hands with me. I love you back. Those who wish me well. Those who don't, well, they can fucking go to hell. That's just the name of that fucking tune. Now that's just the name of that tune. my little empire down here. Because when you die, all I know is if Jesus, but there's what's like this with Jesus that he fills the spot. Faith in Jesus. The reason I can't totally give up on him, he fills the spot that none of this other bullshit does. But yet, why in the hell are those who believe in him are seeing the same fucking shit that those who don't believe in him see? And God is tearing down you. You're tearing down your own credibility, God. You know, right now, God, I say you can't keep your shit together, and I'm disappointed in you, God. You've let me down. You've let me down. And you know what? Until you get your shit together, fuck you. I curse you for this. I curse you. And I sell my soul to the devil. To look not so much as even one day over 23 or to over a teenager, to have those long, smoking hot, drop dead, gorgeous lips perpetually, and I had the long arms and long forearms. And I denounce God. I still want the Bible wisdom, but I got now more than ever. I got to have the long arms, the smoking hot good looks for the girls think I'm a good looking guy. Now more than ever, I gotta have that. And if it costs me an eternity burning in a lake of fire, I accept that. You hear me, Satan? I accept that.